Crazy water slides you should never ride. Water slides are an essential go-to for thrill seekers and summer vacationers everywhere. But some of them are a bit too extreme for the faint of heart, from truly dangerous trapdoor drops to slides that send you spinning wildly like a top. This is our list of the craziest water slides you should never ride. Number 19. AquaDuck. Better think twice before letting the kids go on this water slide. Just because it's Disney doesn't mean that it's not terrifying. Crafted from the brilliant minds at Disney Imagineers, the AquaDuck features 360-degree glass tunnels at 4 decks tall. Riders can glance out above the ocean as they barrel through this unique water slide, being swiveled up, down, and even outside the ship's parameters. Riders are then dropped into the lazy river, in which they can float around to catch their breath, or opt to experience it all over again. Number 18. Scorpion's Tail. This water slide is ranked as one of the most terrifying slides in the nation, but you probably could have guessed that already by the name. There's no way a water slide called Scorpion's Tail would be a nice gentle ride. Located at Noah's Ark Waterpark in Wisconsin, which is the largest water park in the United States, the Scorpion's Tail is almost, as if not more, adrenaline pumping than an actual roller coaster. It sends riders on a high-velocity ride down 10 stories from a trapdoor to a 55-foot chute, where the slope is at about 70 degrees. Number 17. Master Blaster Water Coasters. Don't say I didn't warn you. Aside from this slide's beautiful architecture, it's one heck of an experience. Located at Atlantis, the Palm Resort in Dubai, 4 water slides start at different points of this Mayan pyramid. Riders can choose to race each other as each slide ends up in various areas all over the park. The central feature of the Master Blaster are the powerful jet streams of water that propel riders forward as they travel uphill. Aside from the fun and excitement, passengers can enjoy the scenic views since the park is located on the Palm Jumeirah, a human-made island formed in the shape of a palm tree. Number 16. Brainwash. Wet n Wild is one of the most famous chains of water parks in the world, so it makes sense that the Brainwash is located at one, namely the Wet n Wild in Orlando, Florida. Like a lot of water slides we've already talked about, this one begins with a nearly vertical drop, 53 feet downwards into a domed funnel that measures at 65 feet. Inside this dome is where things get really trippy, and you'll see where the name truly comes from. The inside is both dark and really colorful, the funnel consisting of an experience of twists, colorful lights, and sounds as you're flushed about 6 stories down. Number 15. Summit Plummet. Located at Disney's Blizzard Beach Water Park at the Disney World Resort, here's one ski experience where you'll only need your bathing suit. It is commonly listed as one of the scariest water slides in the world, which is due to the drop being so high and so steep. This snow mountain themed slide sends the rider plummeting down a 120-foot slope. If that guy's regretful facial expression is anything to go by, then it's safe to say this one feels more terrifying than it looks. Number 14. King Cobra. Located at Six Flags in New Jersey, this ride lives up to its name. Aside from its scary appearance, it features 2 dueling slides. The trip starts with a figure 8, shortly before it releases you down a 25-foot drop. Traveling up to 32 miles per hour, the drop is an entryway into a Cobra's head. Before coming to a stop, riders are rocked back and forth and ending in the middle. The ride is painted in bold colors on the interior and exterior, which include red, black, and dark orange to mimic the colors of a cobra. Number 13. Boeing 747. Air and space museums preserve the best and precious artifacts of aviation history and science, but the evergreen Wings and Waves Water Park in Oregon lets you experience it firsthand. The park contains 10 water slides, with its main attraction being the Boeing 747. The Boeing 747 water slide is made from a real retired airplane, and aside from this fantastic view, guests can enjoy a day of educational learning. Serving as a museum and water park, there's also a wave pool, interactive exhibits, classes, and hands-on activities to get those creative juices flowing. Number 12. Epic Plunge. Speaking of unique water parks, this slide, known as the Epic Plunge, is located on top of a Norwegian cruise line ship. It must be a strange sensation splashing around in the water when you're not actually going into the actual ocean. But anyway, the Epic Plunge stands at 200 feet tall and is the only bowl slide that's sailing the seas, at least as far as we know. Number 11. The Termit 300. The Termit 300 is another one of those aqua loop slides that exist in the world, and it exists particularly at the Adventure Pool Complex in Slovenia. One reason that it sets itself apart from the other aqua loops is that it features a 360-degree loop and is known to be the 4th fastest water slide on the entire continent of Europe. Number 10. Walhalla Wave. Only in Aquatica SeaWorld in San Antonio, Texas will you feel like you're flying. Experience this 23-meter water slide with the whole family as your inflatable raft will send you spinning in all directions. It was featured on Travel Channel's Extreme Water Parks, and it also has the tallest wave wall in the world. You start off by being propelled into an enclosed tornado pipe that spins riders through a 720-degree corkscrew spiral. Combined with the choppy waves and bouts of long turns and twists, you'll end up face down or on your back before encountering one giant zero-gravity wall that will make you feel like you're floating. Number 9. L2. Located at Wave Water Park in Austria, the L2 is the world's first double-looping water slide. Take caution, as this isn't for the faint of heart. It first starts off with riders being sucked down a trapdoor and plunging 45 feet into the water. Well, of course, that's all part of the fun. Reaching speeds of 35 miles per hour, your blood boils through your veins, all while swirling in the dark. If you think you're up for an adrenaline rush, then see if you have what it takes to slide down the L2. Number 8. Area 47. This twisting water slide can be found at a water park in Austria known as Area 47. The mysteriously named water park is a popular tourist destination in Austria that you might not have expected if you're more used to Austria's cityscapes. The entire thing spans over 20,000 square meters, and it's not just swimming you can do here. Perhaps after riding this slide, you'll want to settle your nerves and opt for some nature climbing instead. This slide sends the rider through a tube while the ones around it are more looping in shape. Number 7. Twister and Speedy. The Twister and Speedy water slides are located at a thermal spa in Austria and come as two separate experiences, though they're supposed to be equally terrifying. Twister is one of the longest indoor slides in Europe, measuring at over 663 feet long, so it feels like the twisting sensation is never ending. And then there's Speedy, which is a much faster slide, dropping you 75 feet into the water and keeps you going for 460 feet. As for which one's scarier, it depends on if you have a fear of the disorientation in the dark or of heights. Number 6. Verrückt. This crazy slide was the main attraction of the Schlitterbahn Water Park in Kansas City, boasting to be the biggest water slide in the world. It clocked in at 168 feet tall with drop speeds of about 168 miles per hour. Sadly, this height proved to be too dangerous to be good, and resulted in some serious injuries and even one death in 2015, prompting the park to dismantle it. Number 5. Mammoth. Built in 2011 inside Holiday World and Splashing Safari in Indiana, it is the world's longest water coaster. At 1,763 feet, it claimed the title from another ride in Holiday World. The Wildebeest water coaster is 1,710 feet long and opened back in 2010. The ride holds a total of 10 yellow, 6-passenger boats, in which riders spin and travel in the water propelled by jet water streams. Lasting for a total of 3 minutes, it has a height of 69 feet and has a drop of 32 feet. Mammoth contains uphill and downhill descents, as well as an open helix. Number 4. The Constrictor. Located at Wet n Wild in Phoenix, Arizona, the Constrictor was voted in the top 5 in Travel Channel's Extreme Water Parks program. Showcasing a list of corkscrew turns and smooth spirals, the Constrictor has the tightest turns of any other water slide in the world. Riders speed through tunnels on multi-person rafts before shooting out in soaking splashdown. Within its dark tunnels, you'll never know what's next. Number 3. Leap of Faith. With a name like that, how can your stomach not drop just a little? The Leap of Faith water slide is located at the Atlantis Paradise Island in the Bahamas. The nearly vertical drop measures at about 60 feet high, sending you right out in front of a Mayan-themed temple. Since it's a very famous slide, you've probably heard, or watched our other videos, that this slide not only has a steep drop, but afterwards you're propelled into a clear tunnel into a lagoon of sharks. The Leap of Faith at the Mayan Temple is one of the most iconic images associated with the Atlantic Paradise Resort, and though the rest of Atlantis is designed to be a relaxing time in the tropical sun, this adrenaline rush slide still proves to be very popular. Number 2. Headfirst Racer. Headfirst Racer slides are exactly how they sound. Instead of lying down on your back, the rider is set on their stomach, plummeting headfirst into the water, with 8 slides all set beside each other to invoke a feeling of competition. This colorful slide is located at the Chimelong Water Park in China. The rider is given a small raft, and on their marks, the riders are sent down the slide, with an official at the end of it to declare who won. So it's perfect if you're looking for a way to quell your fear of sliding, or maybe you just need an extra edge to make fun. Number 1. Magic Water Cube. This water park is actually an Olympic pool house that was converted to a water park in order to generate money once the Olympics left Beijing. Now it's a whimsical water fantasy full of wading pools and lazy rivers. It's also home to this water slide, the Bullet Bowl. It's designed to send the riders down a tube that whirls around and around and sends them through a bunch of corkscrews. It's a bit like a super fast toilet. If you're a little sensitive to spinning in endless circles, you might want to avoid this one.